Welcome on this Tuesday. This is Derek Demore with Futures Demore and Futures Networks Live. We're here to go over opening bell and end of day stuff. As you can see, very confusing morning. You could read this. I would pause the video and read everything so that I don't have to go over it right here. This is the bullet points on what happened. And you could see that we basically have wedges. We are above the 200 period EMA on the 5 minutes, but that's pretty much it. And I wanted to show you what the 1 hours looked like at the time. And you could see that we are at the top of some pinching Bollinger Bands, and we are at the top of the mark. So the call was actually for a short today. And as you could see, we'll go over what happened. So about 10 minutes into it, or 5 minutes into it, you can see that we came up to 42.10. Now, as you can see, we had this spot over here, and if I scrunch it up a little bit more, there was some interesting stuff in this area that was identical to this tap. So I raised it to 42.10.50, and thankfully I did. When my stop went up, I saw that it was exactly at that spot, and I said, I got to clear that by half a point. Thankfully, I did that. That one, the NASDAQ lost, and the Russell ended up going first down, and it looked like it was going to be good. And then we came back up to 22.36, which, if you've been watching my videos, was the line in the sand for the Russell. And the minute that it broke that, it just absolutely launched. So I only won 1 out of 3. And you'll see at the end where the totals were, but just barely negative on currency units. Now, what's cool about my limit orders is I went long. I go opposite of what the call is. And I went long at 42.05, 32.7, and 22.33. And I won 2 out of 3. I thought about DCAing. As you can see what happens right here. I thought about DCAing right around 42.01 because I was in at 42.05. So I got in and everything's looking good. That wick would have gotten me out at 41.96 because I would have been in at 42.01. So that would have gotten me out somewhere right here at 41.97. But that was pretty much, then it went sideways and then it started going down again. So today seems like so far a down day, except we're getting some turnaround right now. So all in all, 2 out of 3 on the longs, 1 out of 3 on the shorts, and we'll see how end of day stuff is right now. So on the MES, you can see that since I put this, we're going down further, but we're above all the EMAs on all 3 markets. We were super close on the MES and the M2K on our end of day predictions. We actually came up and touched. I just thought we'd end up a little higher. We did have a little pullback, which doesn't surprise me. And now 41.70 seems like the support. So down right at the channel, which is 41.70. But basically my end of day calls are 42.24. I think we could get up to the kind of the top here, the channel, and pull back right about where these 2 candles end. So that may happen, but right now it looks like we're going down and going to actually potentially break the channel and end up down at 41.60. So those are my 2 end of day calls right there. Let's go. Oh, and where am I going to end up? So these are the 2 right here and go from there. So as you can see with the NASDAQ, we split the uprights. It didn't quite go up to the total that I thought, which, that's fine. Can't get them all right. And it didn't then pull back to the line. So it just stayed right about, went to the R2, pulled back a little bit. We kicked over, we went up. Now it looks like we're going down. We are still well above all the EMAs. But I kind of see 13.5 as the support line and maybe just a fuzz below that. And we're still in the channel. So, either end of day is going to be way up, 13, the R3, or most likely down, right in this range down here, maybe come down, bounce back to just above the 21 period EMA and below the R1. So let's make the change right now. Okay, so this is where the two end up for the NASDAQ. And now let's do the end of day for the Russell and get our totals, and then we're done. And as you can see, the Russell, we just barely missed it. The wick almost got up to our end of day, and then it pulled back and it almost came back into the fold. But as you can see, still can't close above 2236, which is our line in the sand. It did actually go 3 candlesticks up, and then it pulled right back in. So that's going to be the big thing. If it can do that, then end of day is going to be 2250, probably at the highs of the day, maybe even a little bit further. But it looks like a pullback to 2203 isn't evident today, just the way it seems to be going. All right, I'll move these for the end, and then we can show the totals, and then we're done. All right, here they are in sand, but you'll see them tomorrow when we review also. All right, so here's our end of day totals. We were -9 total because we were 1 out of 3. We only made the S&P, which thankfully I moved my stop by 0.5 point, which allowed us to win that. And -9 points, which is -18 currency units on my limit orders. We won 2 out of 3. Ended up losing the S&P, but won the other 2 markets going long, and then it turned around on us. So we made 30 points and 156 currency units. So awesome. We're getting better at this every day. Thanks for being a part of Futures Demore, Futures Networks Live. Please like and subscribe, and tell your friends to come join us. And aloha, and we'll see you tomorrow.